Okay, so I stopped it earlier because it was telling me it was wrong. And I clicked back and I clicked over and it still had the answers in there, and I checked it, and this time it said it was correct. So it just wasn't seeing the whole answer for some reason. But I went back and put the same answers in, it was correct. So that was just a weird glitch. So let's move on. Number 20. Okay, this one, solve it. You can use it any way you want. You don't have to solve it using the matrices, but you can if you want to. You can put this in as 1, 1, -6 and 1, -1, -4 into a calculator. That would be a 2 by 3 element or dimension matrix. Something like this, it'd just be just as easy to solve it manually, because you could use the elimination system, because if you add these vertically, your y's will cancel and you'll get 2x equals -10. So that means x is -5. Once you know x is -5, let me see, what would that be? If x is -5, you add 5, so y would be -1. So -5, -1. I believe. Now I did this one in my head, so I'm not real sure. I think that's right. Right? They add up to -6. If you take x minus y, and yeah, that's right. All right. Get this bigger. So I've got the problems in there. I'm going to check it again. All right. So again, this one, either put it into your calculator. They're in the standard form. This is a 2 by 3 matrix. So we've done this earlier in other problems, but go to your matrix, put it in a 2 by 3, where your top row is 1, 1, -6. Your bottom row is 1, -1, -4. And then go do an RREF command from your matrix menu. Look that up on the videos. That will give you your answer for that one. Next one. All right, so we have the 2 investments. So this is about setting up the word problem more than actually working it out. Again, you can use your calculators to work it out, but how much be invested in each account if an investor of $99,000 would like a return of $10,400 per year? Okay, so part A is where all the math is, and part B just kind of asks you to take a stab in the dark as to why they might want to not pile it all into one investment. Okay, so when you're doing these interest rate accounts, look again for totals. So one of them is just the total amount that was invested, and it says it's $99,000. And it also asks us what the total interest earned would be. And so it says that's what your return would be. You get 12% interest on one of them, you get 10% interest on another one. We would like that money all together to add up to be $10,400 per year. All right, so one of our equations, let me go back here and stop the sharing. All right, so when you do want an interest rate problem, like an investment, your original investment, what did it say? It was 99,000. Let me look again. Yeah, 99,000. So the original investment is $99,000. All right, when it wants you to figure out how much you're going to invest in 2 different types of interest-bearing accounts, this is what you're going to do. You're going to define your variables to be the amount that was how you're going to break up that $99,000. Amount of money invested at, one of them was 10%, the other one was a little bit riskier at 12%. The amount of money at 12%. So you're somehow going to break this up into these 2 accounts, and X and Y is just how that 99,000 is going to break up. So again, you want to do your total original investment. That's just how are you going to break up that 99,000. 99,000. And then your other one is going to be just your interest. So this is just your total investment, original money, and then this is your total interest. Okay, so however much you invested in this 10%, the amount of interest earned is 10% of it. So you always take your percentage as a decimal times the amount you invested at 10%. Same thing for the 12%. That's 0.12 times however much you invested at 12%. So this is going to give me 10% of one amount. This is going to give me 12% of the other amount. And I want these $2 amounts to add up to the total interest they wanted was $10,400. That was the total return that they wanted. Okay? So that's it. Once you've got your matrix, you can solve it by hand. You can use substitution. You can put it into your calculator. They're both in standard form, so I would probably get out my calculator and do this. 0.10, 0.12, 10,400. Let me just grab the calculator since I'm sitting right here with it. Okay, I'm going to do matrix. Go over to edit. This is just going to be a little 2 by 3, so it's going to chop out some of this stuff. My first one is 99,000. The next one is 10%, 12%, 10,400 was my return, right? Total amount invested originally, total amount of interest earned. This is the individual interest earned. And then this is just the 1 and 1 means the X and Y, the amounts add up to 99,000. So once you have it in there, you go back to your main screen and you run one of those RREF commands again, right there, matrix A, that's where you stay in the first column. Boom, that's it. This is your RREF form again. Now it's just for 2 variables. So this tells me X, which is the amount I invested at 10%, will be $74,000. The bottom row says 0x plus 1y, or y, the amount at 12% will be $25,000. Okay, so let me write that down. So x is 74,000, y is 25,000. Okay, what does this mean? So this is the amount at 10%, 25,000 is the amount at 12%. The second part, so this is part A, how you would answer part A. Part B on that problem asks kind of a more open-ended question, like why on earth wouldn't everybody just pile into that 12%, the higher yield one? And could be lots of reasons, especially looking at how these numbers come out. Maybe the 12%, because it pays better, there's a limit to how much you can invest. Maybe $25,000 is the limit that you can invest at 12%. Maybe the amount starts to, the percentage goes down for a higher amount invested. Could also be just because you want to spread your risk out. You don't want to invest it all in the riskier one in case something goes bad and it doesn't pay out at all, then you've lost all your money. So you want the 10% one, it's maybe not as fancy, but it's more reliable. So you're more likely to get some kind of a good yield on this one. And this one pays off better, but there's more risk. It may not pay off at all. So I'm just thinking of a couple different reasons. I'm sure there's multiple choice answers that you kind of pick something along those lines. Okay, so let me go and look at what was that? I don't remember what number that was. That was number 21. So let's look and see what the next one is. We're getting close to being done. 22. All right, this has lots of multiple choice answers. Basically, we have to read through all this, figure out what the system's equations are, and pick them out of this big list of possible equations. Okay, so let's read through here. Professor wants to create a test that has 12 true-false questions, 8 multiple choice questions, and 4 essay questions. She wants the test to be worth 240 points. That sounds like a total, with each multiple choice question worth twice as many points as a true-false question. That's like our cheese and pepperoni pizza problem we were doing earlier. And with each essay question equal to 3 times the number of points of a true-false question. Okay, so we want X and Y and Z, it says, to equal the number of points, or the point values for a true-false question, a multiple choice question, or an essay question. So I'm going to assume the true-false questions are super cheap points, not worth a lot, because you have a 50-50 chance of getting those right. Multiple choice maybe is a little bit more points, because you got to pick an answer out of 3 or 4 possible answers, and essay questions worth the most points. Also, it keeps saying that the other ones are worth twice as many or 3 times as many as the true-false. So true-false would be the least amount of points, essay question would be the most amount of points. So there's X, Y, Z. All right, so let's go back through and look at it. So I want to create a test that has 12 true-false questions, 8 multiple choice, and 4 essay questions. So they give us how many of each kind of question. So it looks like there's 24 questions altogether. So that's useful to know. She wants the test to be worth 240 points. That's another useful total. And then you've got the multiple choice, which as many as true, false, essay equal 3 times blah, blah, blah. All right, so first of all, let's look at some of the things we know. If it has, we're wanting to know how many point values there are. So right here, these 20 points, since they tell us how much of each kind of question there are, we know how the 240 points are going to add up all together, right? So if X is the number of points for a true false question, and we have 12 of those on this test, and we have 12 true false questions times X, which is the point value for that type of question, that's how many points we're going to get from true false. Y is supposed to be the point value for a multiple choice question, and we have 8 of those. So 8 times Y would give us the points from multiple choice questions. And then essay questions, there's 4 of those. Z is supposed to be the point value for one essay question. So 4 times Z would be the points from essay questions. Add those up. 12X plus 8Y plus 4Z equals the total points, 240. All right, so let's first of all hunt quickly for something that says 240. So it's one of these, D or H. Okay, so H just has the X, Y, Z adding up to 240. But remember in this one, X, Y, and Z are the point values for that type of question. So that's like if you just had one of each type of question, getting 240 points. So that's not it, it's this one. X is the number, X is how the point value for a true false question, and there are 12 true false questions. So 12X would be the points you get for those 12 true false questions and so on. So it's answer D. That's our first one. That's probably the hardest one. Now, the other ones, multiple choice question is worth twice as many points as a true false question. All right, so they're saying that the Y value is worth twice as many of the X values. So wouldn't that say Y is equal 2 times X? X is the true false, double that and you get Y. So you get 2X equals Y or Y equals 2X. 2X equals Y, where is it? Right there. And then the other one is about the essay questions are the most expensive. They have the most points and they're 3 times the number of true false question. So Z, that's the big point values. That's worth 3 times as much as DX. So Z is 3X. That'd be this one. All right, so that's me without writing it all down. I just kind of talked through what those would be. So those are the 3 equations represented, and it's probably going to have us solve it. How many points should be assigned to each type of problem? Note that only positive integer answers are useful. This I might just go back and work on paper because I think that's going to be easy enough to solve on paper. Let me write these down and then I will switch over. So I have one of them is Z equals 3X. The other one is Y equals 2X. And then the big total point value thing, 12X plus 8Y plus 4Z equals the 240 total points. Total points. All right, so I know I've been working all these out on the calculator the whole time. But in this case, so let me run over here. X is true, false. Y is multiple choice. Z is essay. All right, and these are the point values. Okay, so the only reason I thought I might do this by hand is that this would be pretty easy to do a substitution because I have Y and Z already written in terms of X. So I could just do substitutions right there and just solve for X. And once I know X, I can double it to get Y and triple it to get Z. So that's what I'm going to do. Instead of rearrange all these things and put them into the calculator, I'm just going to do 12X plus 8 times Y is 2X plus 4 times Z is 3X equals 240. That's all in terms of X, so I can solve that. So let's see here. We've got 12X plus 16X plus 12X equals 240. So what's 24 plus 16? Is that 40? 24 and 16 is 40. X equals 240. Divide both sides by 40. X is 6. Okay, so 6 points. Remember what X is. That's the number of true false. So 6 points per true false question. Okay. So there's my first one. Now I double that. It says, so this was multiple choice and this is essay, remember? So if I double it, that's going to give me how much for a multiple choice. So 6 times 2 would be 12 points per multiple choice question. And then for essay, I'm just going to triple it. So 6 times 3 would be 18 points per essay question. Seems like a lot. Let's check this and make sure. So what did it say? It said 12. Okay, so it said 12 true-false questions. So 12 times 6 would be 72 points, right? And then we have 8 times 12. I don't know, 80 plus 6 is that 96. That would be 96. So there's your true-false total points. Here's your multiple choice total points. And then how many essay questions? We had 4 essay questions times 18 points per question. That's 72 points. All right, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 14 and 10 would be 200. Yeah, it works. All right, so these are the answers. Now, I did this by hand. If you just really, really like the calculator and you don't ever want to do these things by hand again, then you would have 12x plus 8y plus 4z equals 240. What were the other ones? It was z equals 3x and y equals 2x. You could just take each of these and rearrange them. So the first one, you'd have 3x, we don't have any y's. And then you'd move the z over. There's no constant, so that would be here. I'm just moving the z over on the same side, so 3x minus z equals 0. And then this one, I'm going to bring the 2x over here. There's no reason why I moved them right, I just wasn't thinking. So if I move the 2x over, I'll get negative 2x plus y. I don't have any z's in that third one, and I still don't have any constant. So if you wanted to take this and put that into your calculator and do the RREF, it's going to give you this. 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. And what was the answer? 6, 12, 18. You'll get 6, 12, 18. That's what you'll get when you do the RREF on the calculator. Okay, so you can always use your calculator. We don't care really at this point how you solve these systems, as long as you're not like asking a buddy to help you do them. As long as you're doing the calculator or some kind of algebraic technique, we're good with that. We just want you to be able to solve them so that you can do these problems a little easier. All right, so let's go and look at, where were we? That was 22. Yes, I want to leave this question. What's 23? This is another interest rate problem. So this one is just like the other one, but we've got 3 parts. We have the $400,000 is the total investment. Looks to me like we want our variables again to represent the investment in the least amount, the least percentage rate. Y is the one in the middle. Nope, Y is in 9% and Z is 8%. I don't know why, but this is 6.5, 9, and 8% investments are your X, Y, Z. So one of your equations will be X plus Y plus Z equals your total amount invested, 400,000. The second one will be adding up your interest. It says the total annual earnings, that's like total interest, or the return, it says 32,000. So that's where you would include the percentages. So you do 0.065 times X plus 0.09 times Y plus 0.08 times Z equals to 32,500. And then this last one, the amount invested at 8% equals the sum of the first 2 investments. So 8% is to Z. So it says that's the saying Z equals X plus Y. Okay, so that's how you would set up your 3 equations. X plus Y plus Z equals 400,000. Then you do your interest problems. You get 6.065X plus 0.09Y plus 0.08Z. Don't forget to convert your percentages to decimals when you're calculating. So that adds up to 32,500. And then they have just a comparison statement about z equals x plus y. Once you have that, rearrange them in standard form, put it into your calculator, and get the solution. 24. Okay, this one's already written out for us. What does it say? There was one solution, there are infinitely many, there is no solution. Well, this one's already set up to just put it straight into the calculator, and then let's see how it comes out. So let's see what we're representing here. Different types of cars. X, Y, and Z are the number of compact cars, mid-sized cars, and luxury cars. And they need to have so many of each type on their fleet all the time. So they need a whole bunch of mid-sized cars. And then, you know, what they're spending on them also shows up there, and how much they charge per day. So those are the conditions that they have, but they've already got it figured out for us. So again, let's just go to our calculator to answer that. Okay, so I don't think I'll do that one. It's already set up. You're going to ask your calculator to set up a 3x4 matrix. 1, 1, 160 is your top row, and so on. You're going to go back to your main screen, run an RREF command. That's by going to matrix and over to calculate. Go down that list to find RREF, and then put matrix A after that. And then it will give you down the right-hand column will give you the X, Y, Z values. So compact, mid-size, and luxury cars. So these are really just about setting up the matrix. Let's look at this last one. This one we have to kind of set up our equations again. All right, a promoter needs to make $62,000 from the sale of 1,200 tickets. There's a couple of totals right there. She charges $41 for some tickets and $57 for others. If there are X of the $41 tickets sold and Y of the $57 tickets sold, write an equation that states the sum of the tickets sold is 1,200. Now, if you look at part A, it doesn't say the dollar amount. It just says the sum of the tickets sold. And if you look at the top, it just says there's 1,200 tickets. So the X and Y are counting the tickets. So again, this is where we just do the X plus Y equals the total number of tickets. Okay. Do I have to check it? What? Check it? All right. And then the next part, it says write an expression representing the amount of money received for the sale of X tickets for $41 each. So this is actually breaking it down into little steps if you're having trouble figuring out why it's price times amount. So we'll do 41 times X would be how much money is received, right? 41X, 41X. And then you know what's coming next, $57, and that's Y ticket, so 57Y. This helps us to set up our second equation. Now it's going to say, add it all up. Write an equation that states that the total amount received, total amount, see this is dollars, is 62,000. Add these up. 41X, that's how much money for the X tickets. 57Y, the other tickets, add those together, that's your total yield. 41X, 41X plus 57Y equals the total. Don't include the dollar sign. Okay, fine. Okay, and then you solve it. So X plus Y equals 1,200 is one. 41X plus 57Y equals 62,000 is the other.